Hey guys, my name is Holly and I like to sew. I like to sew a lot, actually. Most of the stuff I make are clothing for myself and my almost 2-year-old, and I also like to reupholster things that I need to decorate my house with. And most of the fabric that I get is really inexpensive. I'll go and I'll get like clearance curtains, or I'll just go and I'll look in the sheet section at any store. I also go to thrift stores and I go straight to the tablecloths and the sheets and back there, and I'll grab fabric from that. And you can repurpose clothes that are way too big for you and just sew projects for yourself, and you know, it'll only cost you a couple bucks. Right now I am making a shirred skirt that will work for maternity or for before or after maternity or never maternity. It will just work for all of those, because the thing about shirred is that it forms to your body. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking this dress that I got at a thrift store, and it was free actually. They had a deal going, so we're starting with $0 on this project. It's good to do shearing projects with fabric that is pretty lightweight. What I've noticed in my past shearing fails is that the bulkier the fabric is, the harder it is for it to cling to your body. This is polyester and rayon, and then because you can see it kind of floats in the air a little bit. You could use like a lightweight cotton, you could use rayon, you could use polyester, chiffon. Some of the reasons why I like this skirt and I'm excited about it is because it will grow with my belly, so I don't have to worry about it not fitting halfway through summer after having invested a lot of time into shearing. And it also goes down to my knee, so when I bend over, you know, like a lot of dresses when you're wearing maternity, they bend over and you show your butt to everybody. But we don't have to do that when shearing because it just clings to your butt. And that'll be really nice. It's polyester and rayon, and so the rayon part in this fabric will help to breathe well with the summer heat. It also goes with anything basic. So make sure you pick out a fun pattern so that you can wear it with like lots and lots of different basic shirts. Like how many basic shirts do we see and we get on clearance and we just like never wear them because, well, they're boring. Now you can wear them with this fun skirt. For this project you will need some sewing scissors, matching thread, some pins, a seam ripper, and some fabric chalk. And you need your measuring tape, some elastic thread, and you'll need elastic for the waistband, and a notebook and something to write with, and your trusty sewing machine. To get us started, to know how much fabric we're going to cut, you need a lateral measurement of the biggest part of your body, on the lower body. So for me it's my bump, I'm going to add about 10 inches because I'm going to still grow. So I'm only in my 4th month. So biggest part of you plus 10 inches ease plus 1 inch seam allowance. So for me, that's going to look at 61 inches. To measure the height of the fabric, we're just going to go from the bottom of our bust. That's where our baby bump starts. Measure in the middle because that's where it's the biggest measurement. And so you're going to do that right there. So then go over the bump and down to about 1 inch above your knee because we're having that ruffle there. And so we're going to add 2 inches for that elastic encasing at the waist, plus about 1/2 inch for that seam where it connects to the ruffle. So it's 36.5 inches for me. So just to review, it's from the bottom of your bust to about 1 inch above your knee, plus 2, plus 1/2 inch. I just need to make sure that I have the 36.5 for my height and the 61 inches for my width. So this is the dress still put together, and when I measure at the bottom I get 33, which would give me 66. Be more like 34 at the bottom, so like 68. And when I measure top to bottom, just need to make sure I have 36.5 inches. And looks like we're doing good there. So I have enough to use this dress. Otherwise, just if you're using a fresh piece of fabric, just make sure that you're cutting out, you know, the length and width that you wrote in your notebook. Got my 36 inches. I'm just gonna save the top half for the ruffle. Take your fabric and put right sides together and sew the side seams. Let's make the casing for this skirt. So look at your elastic and see how thick it is. Mine is 1 inch. I'm pressing it a 1/2 inch all the way around and then doing an additional fold at 1.25 inches and pressing it.
Sounds right.
So I'm going to sew as close to that line as possible, but I'm gonna leave about a 2-inch opening so that I have an opening for my elastic waistband to be inserted. You need about the same length as ruffle for each ruffle as the width measurement we cut, because the shirring gathers it enough that it will look like it's just like gathered. Here I used the top half. I just used the bodice of the dress to salvage pieces for my double ruffle. I also just cut off 4 inches from the bottom of my skirt because I needed more ruffle and it wouldn't end up making the skirt much shorter, just about a 1/2 inch, since it will be added to the bottom of the skirt anyways. So on both of the ruffles at the bottom, on the tiers, I gotta do a rolled hem. And so I'm gonna fold this over and iron it, and then I'm gonna fold it again and iron it again, and I'm gonna clip it. I'm just gonna do all the way around on both, and then we can hem them. I actually did a gathering stitch really close to my raw edge of my ruffle so that I knew it would fit in case my ruffle was wider than the bottom of my skirt, which it was. So if you measure your ruffle and you see that it is longer than the circumference of the bottom of your skirt, then do a gathering stitch so that you can fit it to your skirt easily. So the ruffle attaches to the skirt with right sides together, and we're going to wrap the ruffle around the skirt. Let's put our raw edges together. It goes on top. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the side seams of the skirt, and then we're gonna do the middle to middle. Scrunch up the ruffle to pin on just right, and then sew the ruffle to the skirt.
Sounds right. Sounds right.
Once I've attached the ruffle, now I'm going to press it flat. Now I'm going to attach the other one. The second ruffle we're going to attach the same way with the right sides together and the hem of the ruffle going to the top of the skirt. And that's my 2-year-old. We're going to place this one just right above first ruffle. So if you have like 1/8 inch in between, it'll create that double ruffle. Well, you'll see 2 of them.
Sounds right. Sounds right.
Got the ruffles on. It looks so awesome. It's like a double ruffle. There are a lot of different ways that you can shear a garment. You can lay it flat and get your ruler out and draw lines all the way down so that they can stay straight. If you're lucky, you have stripes on your garment and you can follow the stripes. I have this, we're making a really long skirt. And I think with my pattern just being crazy flowers, I think I'm just going to pretty much just do a spiral seam around the skirt all the way down until the end. It will prevent like using too much thread as well, because I won't have any ends at the end of each line, and it will also use way less shearing thread. So I'm gonna go for it. We'll see how it turns out. If shearing is a new skill for you, go ahead and check the description, and I have placed a link so that you can see it and go and review and learn how to shear so you can make this skirt too.
Sounds right. Sounds right.
Once I got about halfway, I realized that my skirt was just getting so bunched up when I was shearing it, so I flipped it and did from the bottom of the skirt towards the top of the skirt so that it would just be less fabric between the needle and the neck. After you are done shearing your skirt, take the measurement right below the bust where the top of the skirt hits and add 1 inch. Cut it, insert, and sew the waistband elastic overlapping by about 1/2 inch, and then close up that pocket that we left, and then your skirt is done. We did it!
Sounds right. Sounds right.
Hope you enjoyed. Make this skirt and put a comment with a picture. Send it to your pregnant friends. Like and subscribe.